So now we're going to look at diabetes insipidus, right? So just like before with diabetes, the common symptoms is polydipsia. So this is excessive thirst. Polyphagia. Polyphagia is excessive hunger. And polyuria, right? Excessive urination. Now, when we look at the different types of diabetes insipidus, right? So diabetes insipidus is an abnormality of the ADH hormone, right? So ADH hormone was the antidiuretic hormone. Main function of an antidiuretic hormone. So if you can't remember that, think about what does a diuretic do? A diuretic makes you pee. So what does an antidiuretic hormone do? Stops the pee, right? So it's water retention. So ADH is one of the central factors of majority of these different types of diabetes insipidus that I'm going to talk about. So this is water retention. So this is also called vasopressin. So vasopressin is another name for antidiuretic hormone. So antivasopressin is a diuretic. Okay, right. So here we have the different types, and if you remember from before, where is ADH created? So ADH is created in the hypothalamus, and it's stored in the posterior pituitary. There's 4 different types. So number 1, this is the central diabetes insipidus. This is where there is a lack of antidiuretic hormone present. So due to some kind of congenital abnormality where the ADH is not produced in the hypothalamus, and so you have no antidiuretic hormone, so you lose the ability to retain water. Okay? So number 2, you have nephrogenic. So nephrogenic, so whenever the ADH is released, it migrates all the way to the renal system where it binds to the collecting duct. And at the collecting duct, it allows for these aquaporins to open and allow for the permeability of the water. All right, so this is nephrogenic. So there is a defect in the region of the collecting duct where there is some kind of abnormality where the antidiuretic hormone, even though it's present, cannot actually function when it reaches the site of location, right? And then you have dipsogenic. So dipsogenic is a very rare and newly discovered type of this diabetes insipidus. This is due to an abnormality in the behavior of thirst, which is regulated in the hypothalamus. So remember, hypothalamus, if you think about it, is the first and the most primitive region of your brain, right? So it's responsible for anger, thirst, hunger, right? And so there's an abnormality in those regions, right, in the hypothalamus, where your body, even though the ADH is present and everything in the nephron is functioning perfectly, your body still wants to drink a lot more fluids, right? And so of the dipsogenic, there's 2 types. There is congenital, which is some abnormality that is, so if we break this up to A, this is congenital, so there's some kind of abnormality in your hypothalamus where your body begins to want to drink more. So there's instances of polydipsia, all right? And then B, this is gestational. So this is the same as this dipsogenic, congenital dipsogenic, but it's only temporary. It's only during the pregnancy, right? And so these are the 4 different types of pathological conditions of diabetes insipidus.